Hey everybody, thank you for visiting my channel, Past, Present, and Future Gnosis. It's your host, Gnosis Man, and ladies and gentlemen, we got a really important article here, as you see from the headline, without any controversial though. But before we begin, I just did a video where they found frescoes of the Greek god Dionysus in Pompeii. So if you want to watch that video, please check it out. I just dropped it. But without any of a shadow of doubt, let's get into this article because this is going to be really eye-opening to people, and this is going to be a big segue for my future channels. But let's get straight into this. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, from International Business Times, from UK News Science. New DNA evidence suggests the builders of Stonehenge were dark-skinned, not what you expect. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be really eye-opening to a lot of people because if you've known, the conscious view, mainstream view is that it was just more light-skinned people that were actually in Europe. But now it's going across the grain. And before I go any further, this is not any type of video we're downgrading anybody, but this is facts and this is the article. But we're not downgrading anybody, but we're just going to speak the facts and read this article though. But just wanted to put that out because we're not doing any of that funny business stuff. But let's just show the facts and see what this article has to say. Researchers analyzed 348 ancient genomes from individuals who lived between 1700 and 45,000 years ago. And this was published on March 4th, 2025, ladies and gentlemen. So this is new news, nothing old. But I will say I do have old articles already explaining this, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't new news. This is just rehashing old stuff we already knew. But let's just get straight into this article. A groundbreaking study has revealed that the builders of Stonehenge were likely to have had dark skin, challenging traditional depictions of ancient Britons. Researchers led by Guida Barbonia from the University of Ferrara in Italy reconstructed genetic data from 348 ancient genomes spanning individuals who lived between 45,000 and 1,700 years ago. Their findings suggest that nearly all Europeans had dark skin until 3,000 years ago, meaning that those who constructed Stonehenge approximately 5,000 years ago were very likely dark skinned. And that's really interesting, ladies and gentlemen, that they say that it goes back only, that this is only recent that the light skin is, and it goes back to 3,000 years ago. And if you know anything about 3,000 years ago, you know it falls in between the Iron Age. And if you know anything about the Iron Age was a period in human history that started between 1200 BC and 600 BC. During this period, people across much of Europe, Asia, and parts of Africa began making tools and weapons from iron and steel. The Iron Age is the final epoch of the three-age division of the prehistoric and proto-history of humanity, preceded by the Stone Age and the Bronze Age. The European Iron Age, 800 through 51 BC, saw the development of complex urban societies spurred by intense manufacture of bronze and iron and extensive trading in and out of the Mediterranean basin. Yeah, I just wanted to show you how really important it is because this lasted all the way towards this time. Very recent, ladies and gentlemen. But let's continue. Their findings suggest that nearly all Europeans had dark skin until around 3,000 years ago, meaning that those who constructed Stonehenge approximately 5,000 years ago were very likely dark skinned. DNA evidence from across Europe, Russia, and the Middle East. The research, which suggests that most ancient Greeks, Romans, and Britons had dark skin, eyes, and hair, was based on DNA samples collected from the British Isles, mainland Europe, Russia, Central Asia, and the Middle East. Barbogiani's team extracted genetic material from bones and teeth, then applied forensic techniques to predict pigmentation traits with greater accuracy. Their findings revealed that 63% of ancient Europeans had dark skin, while just 8% had fair skin. The remaining individuals displayed intermediate skin tones. Since ancient DNA is often fragmented and degraded, scientists use probabilistic models to refine their estimates. So wow, that's really interesting. Before we continue, they saying that 63%, ladies and gentlemen, of ancient Europeans had dark skin, and there's numerous people around here that we all know about. So that's very interesting that all these people around here, 63% higher, had fairly dark skin. So let's just continue with that. The gradual shift of lighter skin. While humans have inhabited Europe for around 45,000 years, significant lightening of skin tone only began around 3,000 years ago, even during the Copper and Iron Age, just what I just explained actually. Half of the individuals studied still had dark or medium skin tones. This shift in pigmentation is thought to have been driven by migration to higher latitudes and an increased need for vitamin D production. However, researchers remain uncertain as to why this process took so long. One theory suggests that early farming communities compensated for vitamin D deficiencies by consuming nutrient rich foods such as milk and meat, delaying the natural selection for lighter skin. So, yeah, so what they're saying for right here is that they're thinking that they were migrating up north where the mountains were at and where the sun exposure isn't too good. So then for them to produce vitamin D, the pigmentation would have to light up. And this is all common science, ladies and gentlemen. This is true. You can all look this up. So I don't want this to be like something new that anybody like scientists knew all this already with the anatomy of man. So just wanted to point that out. But let's keep continuing with this article because this article is very intriguing. If you've gotten this far and still with me, it's very intriguing. So let's continue here. Netherlands and the evolution of skin pigmentation. Interesting, the study also indicates that some Netherlands may have developed light skin before modern humans arrived in Europe, suggesting that skin pigmentation evolved more unpredictably than previously assumed. Since skin cells help produce a precursor to vitamin D when exposed to sunlight, this supports the theory that lighter skin evolved to enhance ultraviolet absorption in regions with lower sunlight levels, which I was just explaining. The study also provided insight into infamous ancient individuals, Otzi, which you're seeing here. The glacier mummy who died in the Alps 5,300 years ago had dark skin, genetically darker than modern southern Europeans, though lighter than present-day sub-Saharan Africans. And so now let's finish off with this part right here. New DNA technologies unlock the secrets of ancient populations. With advancements in DNA sequencing, scientists can now reconstruct genomes from individuals who lived thousands of years ago, offering unprecedented insights into human history. Many of the forensic techniques originally developed for criminal investigations are now being applied to ancient remains, helping researchers better understand the complex evolution of human pigmentations. This research not only reshapes our understandings of Europe's past population, but also challenges long-held assumptions about what ancient Britons, Romans, and Greeks may have looked like. As DNA technology continues to advance, more discoveries about our ancestors' appearances, migration, patterns, and lifestyles are sure to emerge. Ladies and gentlemen, a very interesting article indeed, ladies and gentlemen, because now this is going to rewrite a lot of history, ladies and gentlemen, and it's due to the advancements of technology that we have. But what I wanted to point out to this is that, again, this isn't common knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. We all know that there were melanated people across the South Americans, even in the North Americans, also too. So one thing I do want to point out is that I do have a hate relationship with the out of Africa theory. I do think some people did migrate there too, but there was other melanated people in other regions too. And one book that can contest to that is They Came Before Columbus, the African presence in the ancient America, showing you other melanated people were here. And like we have articles too, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, like, this isn't new news. It may be new news to you if you haven't been doing the research, ladies and gentlemen, because this academia's historians have all been talking about this. One I can say is Gerald Macy, and I'll probably be showing you his book right here. But another person that clearly speaks around this area is, and if you're watching my channel, you know who I'm going to say, Herodotus, 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 ladies and gentlemen. And we have it here. Herodotus, his stories. So, and this is around the 600 BC, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to see the segment here, let's get straight into the segment because I can just talk all day. But when it's in writing, I mean, like, it's just something different. So let's just show you this segment here. So we're on book 2, page 161. I'm showing you right here, ladies and gentlemen. The Egyptians stated that they believed the Colchians were from the army of the Sassorians. I myself also guessed that first, because they are black skinned and woolly hair, although this is in itself proves nothing, since others are like this too. But even more because of all peoples, only the Colchians, the Egyptians, and the Ethiopians have practiced circumcision from the very earliest times. The Phoenicians and Assyrians of the past agree that they have learned this practice from the Egyptians, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, like, this is just common, ladies and gentlemen. Here you have Herodotus, plain as day, in his own writings. You see, it wasn't my writings, it was his writings. Clear as day, describing the people in this area as black skin and woolly hair. So, I mean, like, if any real historian is doing the research, you would have been come across this, but I don't want to get too deep on this topic in this video. I did just want to present these facts and lay it out to you all that, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was all true. People around this time were really dark skinned. And if you know anything about melanin and the effects of melanin in the sun, you would see why dark skin would be actually more beneficial to have, especially in these regions too. Just pointing that out. But I will be touching upon this subject a little bit more on another future video. So just know that I will be using this as one of my resources because this changes a lot, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this is no color thing or anything like that, but it does change now the story that has been written down for us in our textbooks. If you know anything about Stonehenge and the significance of it, it was actually used for ritual purposes if you do some research. And what's really intriguing is that it was actually an astronomical site for the winter and the summer solstice, as you'll see in this little article here. There's another alignment too. In 1997, Professor Gordon Freeman discovered that the sun at the winter solstice also rises directly between two other upright stones. There are two main theories about why Stonehenge was aligned in this way. Firstly, the alignment may have had something to do with sun worship. After all, the sun brings warmth and makes crops grow, making an obvious object of primitive devotion. Secondly, it has been suggested that Stonehenge is an ancient astrological calendar, a way of telling the time of year by mapping the position of the sun in relation to the monolith. So, just wanted to give you some more reference to see why this area is so important because of the science and the astronomical alignment that is precise with these stones. And now this article saying that these dark-skinned people brought it here just opens up the floodgates even more. So, but yeah, let's just continue here. Just wanted to make sure I brought that to your attention. And if you say it doesn't, well, you're kind of lying to yourself. But again, like I said, I'm not going to stress too hard, I'm not going to harp too much on this article. I just want to present this to you. And of course, you don't see it on the mainstream. It's not being presented out. You got to look for it. You gotta look for this. It kind of just fell on my lap after doing my research. But anywho, what do you guys think about this video and the article that the early inhabitants of Europe were dark-skinned people, and that the light pigmentation that the Europeans have now today presenting only came recently by 3,000 years ago. So that whole area that you're seeing was inhabited by dark-skinned people. So now, what other thing that's interesting is, how does the Bible and the Old Testament connect with this area also? That, my people, is for another video and for you to ponder on. But anywho, what do you guys think? Let's get in the comment section and let's talk about this. Did you guys know about this? Did you already know about this news? Was it like an aha moment? Because it was an aha moment for me doing all my research throughout the years. But yeah, and please don't come crazy in the comment section. Please don't, because I will ban you. I'm not playing. Let's keep it kosher in the comment section. But anywho, just dropped another video where they found a fresco in Pompeii with the Greek deity Dionysus. So please check that video out too, because there's some info that I dropped in there when the connection with Dionysus and another deity, another Roman deity. But anywho, I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.